Today on Studio 18 Live, presented by Old Venice Pizza Company, Athletics Director Ross Bjork talks about the week that was and the special ceremony centered around the recognition of Rebel great Chucky Mullins. We will also ask Ross about College Game Day coming to Oxford, the Grove, and what you as fans can do on game day this Saturday. We will also take your questions for Ross, so be sure and get them in using hashtag AskRoss or by emailing us at studio18@olemiss.edu. Now, live from Studio 18, here is Senior Associate Athletics Director Michael Thompson and Ole Miss Athletics Director Ross Bjork.
Good afternoon and welcome to Studio 18 Live, presented by Old Venice Pizza Company. This fall, we're airing the show on the Wednesdays before each home game so that we can get your questions answered by our Athletics Director, Ross Bjork. There are a couple different ways you can submit questions. You can use Twitter and the hashtag AskRoss, or you can visit OleMissSports.com. At the very top of the page, there's an Ask Ross button. Just click there. You'll see a pretty simple form to fill out, and you'll send your questions right into the show through that link. So we're going to get started. Ross, thank you for being here. Welcome.
Great to be here. Great week in Oxford.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row here. So
Absolutely.
before we get to this huge weekend,
Right.
talk a little bit about Chucky Mullins' weekend and what went down last week, and kind of almost recap that briefly.
You know, you never wanted it to end. You know, last week I think the spirit, his legacy, being able to honor him in those special ways, from renaming Coliseum Drive to now Chucky Mullins Drive, and seeing those street signs out there every single day to wearing his helmet, for the Memphis game, and seeing the fans just explode when our team ran out onto the field, and honoring him at halftime. And it was just a magical weekend, and I think that's the kind of feeling that we should have when we think of him, but also the kind of feeling when we think of our legacy, our history of this university, and all the great things that are happening on our campus and will continue to happen. Those are the kind of moments that I think should live on for a long time, for people to really have perspective of who we are as an institution and as an athletic program. So it was an honor for us to honor him in that special way.
It was a very neat week. And to see it culminate with the powder blue helmets. And
yeah, that was kind of the capper
to
the whole thing. And obviously we kept it a secret. So the credit goes to our team. If you have 120 guys wearing those helmets in practice on Wednesday and Thursday, and they never said a word, our managers never said a word, our trainers never said a word, our staff. Somebody told me that you accomplished the impossible of keeping that a secret, because there's not many secrets around Ole Miss football, but we did that one. And so yeah, that was a neat way to end the weekend.
It was wild.
And then we won in dominant fashion, so it was fun to see.
Defense was just on fire. But I don't think I'll ever forget standing on the sidelines, and when the team came out of the tunnel, there was this pause from the fans as they processed it.
Is this real?
It was a gasp,
right?
And then it was pandemonium. I mean, people just went crazy.
Cool.
So this weekend, all right. So yesterday we sent out an email that had.
I heard about that.
Yes, yeah, it's going to be. We have a football game here this weekend. There's some other stuff going on. Yeah. So yesterday we sent an email out that had the 3 Things video, that's the third one in our series, where we're trying to get the 3 most important things out to fans. And the first one, we'll go through each one of these. And the first one was ESPN College Game Day coming here. So start with exposure. I mean, what does this mean?
I think if you take a step back and look at this game on this calendar, on this date, when we announced the 2014 schedule back in 2013, that's when the talk started. If you think about it, people started talking about October 4th, 2014, Alabama returns to Ole Miss, because we didn't play them. We played them at their place the last 2 years. And so I think people marked this game down a year and a half ago and said, that's the game. That's the game where game day should be there. That's the game where we should be highly ranked because our program is building. That's the game that should be on CBS. So this, to me, the build up to this game started over a year ago when the schedule was announced for 2014. And then I think it's been the last 3 weeks. We played Lafayette. We had that week to talk about it.
Yeah.
We had the off week to talk about it, right? And then even leading up to Memphis, that's all people could focus on was October 4th. So you boil that all up and say, we've got CBS, we're the national game. We've got the best show in probably the history of sports, the best live show in the history of sports, especially around college football. in College Game Day. You take all of the media attention that's around Oxford this weekend and really around our state and around the West Division of the SEC. And, you know, we always say it, you cannot put a price tag. You couldn't buy this media exposure. You couldn't buy the attention. And we're, you know, the focal point of college football for this entire week. And it's key. You know, it means that our program is doing the right things. It sort of validates the process from being down at halftime against Central Arkansas in Coach Freeze's first game and wondering how much work we have to do. And now hosting game day, we're 11th in the country. Our defense is 1, 2, or 3, depending on which stat you look at. And so you can't put a price tag on the process unfolding and validating all the things we're putting into it. And now, you know, we don't think we've arrived just because of this, right? We want to win a championship. And so, but we wouldn't be able to win a championship without getting to this point, right?
It's a marker.
And so it's a buildup. And so that exposure, having that Grove setting, you know, for 3 hours on Saturday will be priceless, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, Oxford and Ole Miss would be the epicenter of college, of all of college football Saturday. It's
question.
unbelievable.
Sports Center broadcasting a few
Yeah.
times, you know, cut-ins, you know, live to Oxford on Thursday and Friday. So, and then obviously all day Saturday.
Well, the Grove is a very, very, very special place. Every media outlet that's ever talked about it, they use words like it's the Mecca, it's the end all,
Right.
it's the one place you have to go. What makes it that way are the fans
Right.
and the culture of the
Tradition,
Grove, of
right.
tradition
Right.
and kind of that Friday night land rush and tents and a lot of red and blue tents, and it's really a unique thing. So when game day, when that's set and talking about all that, the location of that is so important.
Right.
I mean, because there are lots of places that you
Yeah.
can logistically put
Yeah.
it, but where do you put it where you're going to kind of give that best kind of 1-2 combination of the best setting for the show,
Right.
and then taking care of the traditions that
Right.
we have here
Right.
and protecting some of those traditions of fans.
So you're the point person for us with College Game Day, and so we know that we talked about several locations. You know, one in front of the Union, but the stage is a natural. You know, it's obviously built-in infrastructure
Right.
that ESPN doesn't have to truck those things in, and so I think we always thought that was the best spot. And then a few weeks ago, ESPN came in and did a site visit that you were a part of, we were all a part of, and they finally determined that, yes, we can operate from the stage. And then from there, what we had to do is how do we minimize the impact on our fans? Because we know it's tradition. We know that people don't like to have changes, but how do we respect that part of it, but also realize unique opportunity? Let's try to minimize the impact. And so we think that there's about 30 groups that'll be displaced. We think that several tents, obviously, that go with each one of those groups. And so we're working with the tent companies directly on make goods and really a better situation for those people. The key for us, I think, in the whole thing is eliminating a domino effect.
Right.
So if we move these 30 groups, then that would impact another set of groups, which impacts another set of groups. And so I think the key is eliminating the domino effect, and I feel good about our plan. We have to get into setup the next few days and really understand exactly how things will be put in place. But getting the word out yesterday, I think, gives people time to prepare. And now we know we can go into the next few days and set up. And then when people get there Friday morning at 9, and then when tents start to be set up, Saturday or Friday morning at 8 o'clock. Friday morning at 8 o'clock.
Friday night.
Friday night at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. So 9 a.m. it opens, 8 p.m. the Grove setup starts just like normal. Then I think we'll kind of see exactly how it unfolds, and hopefully it all goes smooth.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more specifically about some of these times. The 9 a.m. Friday morning time, that is for fans, pedestrians,
Correct.
People to come into the Grove. So before that, the Jeff McManus and Landscape
Right.
Services, before that, sometime early Friday morning from probably 4 in the morning to 8:30 or so, will be using tractors to put all the trash cans out.
Right.
So they're telling fans,
To wait till 9.
yes,
9 a.m. Friday.
that's right. So if you're a fan and you're in the Grove on Thursday and you're kind of just standing there holding a spot, there's really no point, right?
Right.
Because at 9 Friday you're getting cleared out anyway, and
It's a
then
little different
it's
than
reset.
before.
Yeah, it's
Right.
a little different. So
But we know that this is unique, and
It
so we
is.
have to prepare. So 9 a.m. is really when the Grove opens. if you will,
Right.
on Friday.
For people, that's right.
And then we will keep the same time frame at 8 o'clock on Friday night, 8 p.m. Friday night, where people can come in and set their tents up, just like normal.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. The third thing, the second important note that we had is one that's probably going to be on our script. It may be on our script the whole year.
Probably leave it there.
Yeah, and maybe even next year, because construction all it's going to do is move to another part of our, I guess, our footprint. But that's about patience and getting in there early and gates and post game. Talk a little bit about that.
I think we're learning, each game along the way what we have to adjust and make plans accordingly. And I think last week I looked up with 45 minutes before kickoff, and I looked around the stadium and it was about 80% full. And so I thought that, hey, people are getting the message. That's good. People are arriving early. They're in their seats. Maybe they heard something about powder blue. They wanted to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the key word is get there early. Just plan ahead. Wrap up your tailgating. And make sure that you understand where to go in at, either it's east or west or south, depending on where you sit, and really understand that it may not be perfect, but if you give yourself enough time, you're going to get in by kickoff, and that's the key thing. And then, after the game, usually for a night game, everybody leaves at once,
right.
And pretty much that's what happened on Saturday night. But I thought between Highway Patrol, between MDOT, between our city and our university police and sheriff, I thought we cleared campus pretty darn fast, less than an hour and a half, and usually it's 2 hours. And so I think that right there gives us a good indication that we're improving, right. And we always have to be mindful of the little things that add up to the big things, and I think we're getting there. But patience cannot be emphasized enough as we have all this construction, not only on campus, but also in the city.
That's right. With
intersections and roadways and different closures that could affect how people go home. We have to be mindful of those things.
Yeah, we're not. Everyone knows this. It's not geographically a very big city.
The infrastructure, admittedly by everybody, is
That's
just
right.
not there to accommodate, and we just have to again have patience. And really, it takes about 2 hours to clear
Right.
a crowd of this size, and so that's kind of our gauge right there.
So with the 2:30 game, the hope really is that you're going to have people that. There definitely be people that leave right after the game and head home, but
Right.
there will be a large number of people that go to the Grove.
Right.
So we think that will
That should help.
should alleviate some of the pressure.
Right.
I'm sure everybody will be leaving at the same time. It'll probably be a close game, I would imagine.
As long as we win.
Yes, as long as we win. Now this third one, this could be the most important.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on who
Definitely.
you're asking and what time you ask them.
Yeah.
But we have 7 home games.
Yeah.
Just
Right,
7.
right.
We play others on the road. We have 7 home games,
Right.
and people talk about a home field advantage and what. How do you activate
Yeah,
that? So with a home field advantage, we've got to figure out ways to do exactly that. Make sure that when we are playing at home, that we do have an edge, that we have the edge that we deserve and earn. Talk a little bit about what that message was to the fans.
Yeah, this week I've gotten a lot of questions. I've done a lot of interviews this week, nationally, locally, and the question has been, how have things changed at Ole Miss? And I start with attitude. So to me, the attitude applies to this example. And so the kind of the mentality of thinking that the Memphis game felt like an SEC game, that's the wrong attitude. Every game should feel like an SEC game. It doesn't matter if we're playing Lafayette or Memphis or Alabama. And so I think that attitude has to apply to our fans when we are on defense. Rest on offense, but get up on defense and support this team and be loud. Create an advantage, right? That's why you have a home field, is you want to have an advantage. And so I think the mentality of saying that it doesn't matter who we're playing, it doesn't matter the down, first, second, third, or whatever, that our fans should support our defense. They know we have players, right? So we know our players are going to play.
Right.
But to give a disruptive situation to our opponent, again, that's invaluable. It could cause a turnover.
Yeah,
It could cause a false start.
Yeah.
It could cause a fumble because there's a bad snap or whatever. So it's got to be disruptive. It's got to be meaningful. It's got to be energetic. And I know our players will feed off of that. If our fans bring it. So to me, it's attitude. It starts with attitude from the get-go, that it doesn't matter who we're playing, at the home field should be our advantage, and our fans need to bring it, especially on defense.
It's about locking that vault and continuous noise. And we've tried to make it simple. We have yellow, which is as easy as it gets, just yelling O.
Right.
Just the letter. That's all you got to do. You can yell any pitch you want. And then you have defense, the standard defense chant.
Right.
So on the ribbons, there'll be plenty of prompts of when we want which one, but keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
We got those two.
That's right.
And we'll be prompting them for that. But continuous noise is so key. All right. So we've got 5 questions. We had a bunch of questions come in, probably the most that we've ever had. Each week we're getting more and more questions, so that's good. 5 questions. First one from Julie Davidson. Julie Davidson, this is great. How can I watch the game on Saturday with Wi-Fi in Italy?
Good. That's a great question, Julie. Can I join you in Italy this
right.
weekend? I mean, how fun would that be?
We have Old Venice Pizza Company.
Perfect.
Sponsor the
That's
show.
perfect.
So
Got our cups right here. You know, the best thing to do is cbssports.com or the CBS Sports app. Make sure you check those before you log on right at game time. But that's the best opportunity that we're aware of is the CBS Sports app. Download it or cbssports.com.
Yep. Richard Williams, he asks, and we get this question a lot. This is Richard's for today, but we get it a lot. Will we have a flyover for the game?
Flyovers are tough in today's environment. A lot of cutbacks, military budget, cost cutting, and so we will not have a flyover for the Alabama game. It's really been restricted. We're working with local air bases to see if we can get one in the future, but nothing was able to come together for this game.
And this one we've seen, we've seen a vocal few that talk about this. Daniel says, any possibility of changing the color, I guess referring to what the fans should wear, changing the color to red this week. The stadium looked great against Memphis. Fans respond well to red.
I've gotten a few tweets about this
and
a couple emails. And I think we started this, for the 2012 season? Mm-hmm. And it was all about unity, right? Unity among our fans. We have the best colors, I think, in college athletics.
No
I mean, whoever picked the colors out, navy and red.
It's American as you get.
It's amazing that we have these amazing, bright, vibrant colors. It's going to be a bright, sunny day on Saturday. I think the navy is going to pop in a big way. And so we announced these colors back in the summer. And so we've had plenty of time to critique or evaluate all that. Mm-hmm. And really, this is the first week that we've heard a lot of feedback about changing a color, but we're wearing navy. That's what we've asked our fans to do. It's been planned, all summer long, and I think the stadium is going to be awesome. Red's a great color, obviously. We love red.
Yeah.
But so is navy. And you've got a navy pullover on. I've got a navy sport coat and a red shirt. I mean, bottom line is people should wear what they want to wear, but the idea behind all this, pull the rope in the same direction.
That's right. Unity
among our fans, and create, again, home field advantage.
Great answer. All right, Molly Beth asks, I've been hearing that the SEC network plans to air from the Grove during the Tennessee game as well. Is this true? And if so, are all of us regulars that lost our spots this week going to lose them again?
So it's called SEC Nation.
That's right.
It's on the SEC network, very similar show to College Game Day. Similar layout, if you will. They will use the Grove stage, but the footprint is a little smaller. So it's actually not quite as big as College Game Day. They do not have a demo. The field that they have, they don't have the field turf laid out like College Game Day. So similar, but a little bit smaller. And again, we'll communicate the impact of all of that. The great thing about both these shows is, again, it puts us on a national stage. And obviously the SEC network, 65 million homes, live from Oxford once again. So that's only 2 weeks from now. And so this is a great problem to have. And I think, we'll ask for patience. We'll make accommodations. With the SEC Nation when it comes to town.
Yeah, so right before that game, we'll have our next Studio 18 episode.
Absolutely.
So we'll be talking a lot
similar
about that.
Similar grid that we'll put out,
yeah.
Similar schedule, those type of things.
Good deal. Last one, Ian. Ian is looking for some guidance on guidelines for signs. Do they have signs at game day?
They do. They have a lot. In the pit, as
right.
they call it.
Right.
We know a couple of guidelines. No sticks. No flags. If you watch, a lot of everyone is holding them by their hands, right?
In the pit, they are.
In the pit, they're holding them up. So no sticks. There'll be ESPN reps that will screen the signage that comes in. And I think the biggest guidance is be respectful. support Ole Miss, obviously, in a big way. And then we do know about the stick part of it, and then there'll be reps approving as people enter the pit.
Great answer. All right. That's it for this show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Stick around for a quick update on what's happening this week, as well as a sneak preview of tonight's episode of the season. So stick around. You'll get both those things. Sneak peek of tonight's episode of the season. We'll see you in 2 weeks on Studio 18 Live, presented by Old Venice Pizza Company.
This week on campus. Tonight, your Ole Miss volleyball team returns home for SEC play when they host Missouri at 6 p.m. Saturday morning, the Rifle team gets their home season underway with the Ole Miss Invitational beginning at 9 a.m. at the Patricia C. Lamar National Guard Readiness Center. Then your 11th-ranked Ole Miss Rebel football team hosts Alabama at 2:30 p.m. Tickets are all sold out. If you are needing tickets to the game, we encourage you to visit vividseat.com, the official ticket provider to Ole Miss Athletics. If you have a son or daughter who cannot wait to be a Rebel, we have the program for you. Sign them up for the Rebel Kids Club today. Memberships start at just $30 and include the official Kids Club t-shirt, free admission to home games throughout the athletic year, and invitations to exclusive members-only events. To sign up or to find out more information, visit rebelkidsclub.com. For a complete rundown of all the things happening in Ole Miss athletics this week, visit OleMissSports.com.
Sunoco Rookie of the Year is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. A.J. Allmendinger, Ricky Stenhouse.
Use him up here. Clear high, clear high, clear high.
What's up?
How you doing, boy?
Good, how are you doing?
You all right?
Yeah.
You had a good day?
Yeah, so far I went to a marketing class. That's my first college class I ever went to, so that was good.
Yeah. Now, Danica tweeted me this morning and told me you
I saw
wanted
that.
ads on.
I was talking to her last night, and she said, hey, you need to put pads on and stuff. I was like, I don't know. It's been a while since I've been in pads. Oh, man. Man, you can't go wrong
That's my
there.
weakness, man. I don't,
Ice cream.
I don't do hardly any sweets, but ice cream
Yeah, I can tell.
is me.
No, that's cool. You know what I'm always jealous of?
What are you jealous of? Tell me what you want.
Your white jacket. you
White
wear.
pullover. You want,
That thing is
you want
short sleeve?
3/4 or long
No,
sleeve?
long sleeve. Yes, that one right there.
That's sweet.
Was that medium? Perfect. Thing I hated most was stretching, but now I'm like, it's the most important part.
Stretching's important.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all keep up with everything going on, man. It's like one of our pit stops, you know what I mean? Like, so fast.
Wait till we start going. Move it up a little bit.
Now, what do I need to do?
Put it in the middle hole there.
Little high, little high, little high.
He's an athlete. Money. Yeah. It'd take me 3, man. That's awesome.
We'll leave it at that. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and look forward to seeing y'all at the racetrack.